Well, the first thing you have to always ask yourself is, why are you doing it? What is your why? What makes you click? Once you find a true purpose or why you do what you do, everything starts to fall in place. But you have to have a purpose that's bigger than simply making money, right? So to me, anytime I start anything, I don't care what it is, if it is worth giving 5, 10 years of your life to dedicate it to it, you have to really ask yourself 3 questions. Why this? Why now? Why me? Why this is very simple from my perspective. Ask yourself, God forbid I am actually successful in solving the problem that I set out to solve. Would it help 1 million people, 100 million people, or 1 billion people live a better life? That means even if you're successful, is this really going to move the needle? And the reason I'm saying is not because somehow I'm philanthropic and I feel that people have to do good for the world. It is a capitalist thing to do. Because any time you build any product, any service that can help 1 billion people live a better life, you can create a $100 billion company. But you don't wake up in the morning and saying, what should I do to make $100 billion, right? Making money is simply a byproduct of doing things that improve people's lives. So every day you wake up and saying, what can I do that will improve people's lives? How do I scale that to help millions of people, hundreds of millions of people? And once you do that, then you know you can have a great business. But always remember, a great business starts with solving a problem. Are you solving a real problem for someone who is suffering? And if you can help them better, you have a business. Now, the question really comes down to is, how many people? How do you scale? Because at the end of the day, if you're not moving the needle, that means you're going to have a small business. If you're moving a needle, that means you have a massive business. The second question you have to ask yourself is the timing good now? And what makes the timing good or bad is very simple. Ask yourself what had changed in the last couple of years. But more importantly, what do you expect to change in the next 3 to 5 years that will allow you to solve this problem at scale in 3 to 5 years? And this problem could not have been solved 5 years ago. That means you're really looking to see what are the set of technologies that are available to you, that are at your disposal today, that may not be right price point, but in the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to actually come down to a price point where you can have a massively scalable business. The biggest mistake lot of the people make when they start a company is they build a business that just can't scale. So when they succeed, they fail, and when they fail, right? That means they will never be able to build a business because they started with a set of principles that will allow them to stay small because they just can't scale. So you have to always think that what if you're actually successful? Can you actually scale? Can you really build something that can help millions of people? Or you're going to be stuck with 10 people. And that means, are you really taking advantage of the technologies that are coming out? And are you really riding the wave of technology and using tomorrow's technology to solve tomorrow's problem? Or you're using yesterday's technology to solve tomorrow's problem? And I'll give you examples of that. The last part is the most important part, which says, why me? And that means, what questions are you asking that are different from what everyone else is asking? Because the questions you ask is the problems you solve. So depending on the questions you ask, you can reframe the problem, and suddenly the solutions are many that are not obvious, right? And we can go talk about almost any industry, and you will see that is the fundamental of how you look at the world from a different lens or a different perspective.